Welcome to the Scars Network. Here we share real, anonymous stories of struggle and strength, stories that remind us that scars aren't signs of defeat, they're proof that we survived. Today I want to share my story. The story of how I lost everything I thought mattered, but found what truly did. For most of my adult life, I thought I was doing okay. I had a steady job, nothing fancy, but it paid the bills. I lived in a small apartment I called home. I wasn't rich, but I had security, or so I thought. My days felt predictable. Wake up, go to work, come home, repeat. I had plans, of course. I dreamed of traveling, starting a business, maybe even writing a book one day. But those dreams, I kept them tucked away, buried under fear and comfort, until one day the life I thought was safe collapsed. It started with a meeting. I was called into the manager's office. I sat down, expecting maybe a review or a new task. Instead, I was told my role was no longer needed. Just like that, I was jobless. At first, I tried to stay positive. I thought I'd find something else. After all, I had experience, I had skills. But as weeks turned into months, rejection emails became familiar. Phone calls stopped coming. Savings began to shrink. I sold my TV, then my furniture. I downsized, then downsized again. There were nights I went to bed with hunger pains. Nights I cried quietly so no one would hear. And the worst part? The silence. The friends who vanished, the family who didn't understand. It felt like the world moved on while I was left behind. I won't lie to you. There were moments I wanted to give up, moments when I thought, what's the point? I doubted everything, my worth, my future, even my existence. I felt invisible, forgotten, lost. But then something shifted. One night, unable to sleep, I reached for an old notebook. I began to write. At first, just my pain, my frustration, my fears. But soon, ideas began to flow. I remembered passions I had long ignored, dreams I had set aside, ideas for businesses, creative projects, ways to serve people. For the first time in months, I felt a spark of hope. I didn't have much, but I decided to start small. I offered my skills, tutoring, writing, helping small businesses with basic tasks. I learned new things online, using free courses and videos. I failed often, but I kept trying. I reached out to people, not for help, but to serve. And slowly, things began to change. I started earning again. At first, it was just enough to survive, but then I found myself waking up excited. I was no longer working for a paycheck. I was building something that mattered to me. I discovered my purpose, not in comfort, but in the struggle. Not in the job I lost, but in the dreams I finally chose to chase. Losing everything was painful, but it taught me something I will never forget. Sometimes, life has to strip us of what we think we need to reveal what we're truly made for. Sometimes we have to lose everything to find ourselves. If you're watching right now and you feel lost, please remember, your story isn't over. Your scars are not signs of failure. They're proof that you're still here. And as long as you're here, you can rise. This is the Scars Network. Thank you for watching this story. If it touched you, please subscribe, like, and share this video. And if you have your own anonymous story of resilience, send it to us. Together, we heal through stories.